Hey, it's Richard with the Outdoor Adventure Club. I thought I'd just give another insight into how I'm looking at the Avalanche advisories today. Today's a day, maybe it's a little interesting because I'm not going out backcountry skiing today, I don't think. Don't have anything planned, but I want to keep track of what's going on, both in the Sierra Avalanche Center advisory and in the Shasta advisory. We're going to be running trips this weekend, both in Lassen National Park and in the Tahoe National Forest. So I want to keep an eye on the conditions, track them through the week, see what's going on. So hopefully this will be a quick one. I don't think it'll take very long. And, as always, this is just informational or entertainment in nature. I'm not giving anybody any advice. I'm not suggesting you do anything or go anywhere. And, I gather a lot more information after I look at these advisories as I'm deciding where I'm going. So please don't take anything that I say as travel advice or suggestions on where you should go. So today I woke up and we got just a ton of snow yesterday. It was a great ski day at Palisades, and the snow out of my back door is now blocking. I can't see the sky anymore. And we had some dry, loose avalanche activity right on the back. So I know that there's some instability in the snowpack. So it was an interesting observation to make this morning while I still had my slippers on. So that's how I started my day. Let's take a look at the Sierra Avalanche Center advisory and see what they had to say this morning. So we're still in an avalanche warning until March 1st, 7 a.m. Today, February 28th. Yep, that's today's advisory. I always want to double check that. High intensity snowfall, so snow and wind slabs. Possibly failing deep in the snowpack. That's a curious line. It makes me wonder, like, how deep in the snowpack? Are we talking below the new snow or just the new snow? High avalanche danger today at all elevations. That seems sensible. Interesting that tomorrow the danger is forecasted, or the outlook is they're expecting it's going to go down to considerable. So that'll be something to watch. Watch that trend. See if the danger rating is dropping throughout the week as the storm goes through. Avalanche problem number one, wind slabs, northwest, northeast, east, southeast aspects near and above tree line. Very likely big enough to kill me, big enough to knock down a wood frame house. And, again, for me, I'm not telling anyone else what to do, but if you tell me there's wind slabs, I like to know what aspect the forecast center thinks they're going to find them, but I just assume they're going to be on all aspects until I prove otherwise. I go out in the field and I try to make observations, trying to determine where the wind slabs are on the specific slopes that I'm traveling on. All right, what are they saying? Unstable wind slabs are going to continue to grow in size and distribution. That makes sense because we've had gale force southwest winds. I bet there's some awesome cornices forming. See, existing wind slabs are becoming thick and the avalanches could be deep. Okay. This is interesting. Out of the usual, wind slabs may also form to a lesser extent below tree line due to the strength of the wind. So that stands out for me. Avalanches could be very large and run down into below tree line areas, which is a good reminder as well that even though the avalanche might start above tree line, it could run into the trees. So there's the wind slabs. Problem number two, storm slabs, all aspects below and near tree line, very likely. Also big enough to kill me and a house that I'm in. Snowfall rates around 2 inches per hour today. That is significant snow. An inch an hour is pretty significant snow loading. We're getting 2 inches of snow. Will allow new snow to accumulate faster than it can bond to itself. That's really the race. Are we getting more snow than it can? Is it coming down faster than the snow can bond to itself? While shallow, dry, loose instability may present on the snow surface, and I saw that right in my backyard, deeper storm slab instability is now a concern. Okay. And there are various weak layers several feet below the surface on northwest, northeast aspects. Most notably is a lightly faceted crust at the February 21st old new snow interface. And it's right at the bottom of all the recent new snow. Isolated snowpack collapses, wumping test slope failure, unstable snow pit results have been observed at the bottom of the recent storm snow. So that's cool. So they're telling me, at least what I'm hearing, I don't know what they're telling me, but what I'm hearing is underneath this new snow, there are some facets, and facets do happen around crusts, so that makes sense. And they're telling me where in the terrain, northwest, northeast aspects, and they're telling me where in the snowpack, right at the bottom of all the recent snow. So if I were to go out looking for this, I would go out and look on northwest, northeast aspects. I would go, I would dig down to below all the recent snow and look for a crust. Honestly, before I started digging, I would be probing to see if I could find a crust. So that's, travel advice, not recommended travel in or near or below avalanche terrain. That seems reasonable. Becoming caught in an avalanche below tree line that fails deep in the snowpack may not be survivable. That's worth noting. The amount of avalanche activity that occurred in the last 24 hours is unknown due to storm conditions and poor visibility. So let's own it. They don't have the same number of observations that they typically do. Uncertainty is high. We should be more conservative. Lots of blowing snow reported, even below tree line. Again, concerning weak layers exist around 4 feet deep in the snowpack and are getting buried another foot or two today. So, and in my mind, that's saying, hey, we have some weak snow facets in the snowpack, and those are persistent. And even though it's going to stop snowing today, tomorrow, that weak snow is going to exist, and it's going to have a heavy load on top of it. So that's my read on the Sierra Avalanche Center advisory. Looking at the Shasta advisory, the bottom line, very dangerous conditions exist. New snow loads, southwest winds, that sounds similar to what's going on at the Sierra Avalanche Center, have installed fresh wind slabs on leeward slopes and sensitive storm slabs on all aspects and elevations. Okay. Interesting, it's a little different. The danger rating, they only have high danger above tree line, considerable danger near and below tree line. Wind slabs, similar aspects, similar likelihood. Their slider is a little bit lower than the Sierra Avalanche Center, but I'll tell you, once it trips to D2, big enough to kill me, it's really all I need to know. Winds will acquire more ammunition to build drifts as more snow falls and snowfalls in the day progresses. Yeah, watch for blowing snow and development of wind lips and cornices to help determine wind direction. Yep, I'm on top of that program. Dry snow of this nature will make snow transport easy and allow winds to carry snow over ridgetops, through trees, down gullies, around the base of cliffs. I'll tell you, one thing that I'm picking up on here is that we have got some cold, dry snow, and the time to go skiing is right now or very soon, before invariably there'll be a warm day and it'll nuke all of this super soft, super dry snow. So I'm going to be waxing the boards and getting ready to go as soon as things lighten up a little bit. Avalanche problem number 2, storm slabs. All aspects, likely, again, a little smaller forecasted size than what Sierra Avalanche Center is saying, but D2 big enough to kill me, so I treat them all as more or less the same. Over a foot of new snow exists with more on the way. This extra load will only increase the risk and sensitivity. Yep, steep gullies, cliff tops, mid-slope rollovers, wherever the slopes are getting steeper are likely to be the trigger points. Whoa, a third avalanche problem, dry, loose, and hey, I saw that right out my back door. So all aspects, likely and small. Yep. it's possible to have a dry loose avalanche. I can guarantee that it is. Today is all about terrain choice. Expected to be windy, cold, poor visibility. Sounds like good weather. Maintain a healthy suspicion of aspects on the north half, specifically slopes that have seen more wind deposited snow. So that's interesting. I'm not sure how I feel about that line, to be honest with you. Like, yeah, maybe the north half is more dangerous, but west and east is still lit up. I would hate for someone to read that and say, I guess I don't need to worry about west and east slopes. Hopefully they do. So that's my take, my read through of both of those avalanche advisories. And